What's up everybody, Matt Nuzzo. We are here at Reel to talk to you about the 2019 Slingshot RPM. So anyone that has not been living under a rock knows that the Slingshot RPM is their flagship product, okay? The RPM came out about 10 years ago. When it first came out, we were teaching on it. It's really stable, easy to use. It wasn't the best for water relaunching, but back in the day, it was an amazing kite. And it's had 10 years of development since then, which lands us at the 2019 RPM. So everyone that knows the RPM knows that it's a great wake style kite, great freestyle kite, great for looping. It's basically for intermediates or better that are riding hard on this kite. Has traditionally had a higher bar pressure. It wasn't the best jumper, but you know, it's still a really versatile all-around kite. For 2019, they brought in a totally new kite designer and said, hey, let's take another stab at the RPM. Let's keep it true to its things it does well for our core riders that have been riding and loving it. But let's add in some more features to it, okay? They want to make it jump better. They want to have a better wind range. And that's something that's really noticeable on this kite. So they have kind of started back at the blocks and did a full redesign in this kite to land into a RPM that is like freaking amazing. And it fits a much larger swath of kiters. So the things that have changed on this kite to make that most noticeably is going to be the bridle. You can see the bridle system is a lot more simple. Okay, it does engage using the bungee, which they like, and it has one pulley on it, which is fine. Some people get a little nervous about pulleys. I've never had these things wear out. But the main thing is that the bridle is a lot cleaner. The traditional kind of that Y weird bridle on the RPM, that thing was a little bit funky because you could always flip through itself or you could tangle it when you're rigging it up. So you definitely wanted to have some experience with bridles to be able to kind of rig that one. This one's like super easy. They still have multiple settings on the leading edge here. So, you know, this is your kind of freestyle. That's more your wake style. It's going to give you a little more grunt. And then you've got your multiple attachment points on the back here. When you look at this 12-meter RPM compared to last year's 12-meter RPM, you notice immediately that this kite is like a kite size bigger, okay? So the RPM, particularly the 12 and larger, always felt underpowered. Like you always had to be lit on the kites to make them ride. Whereas this year, I think they've altered the sizing. You know, when you see the side by side, you can see the canopy is actually quite a bit bigger, so it has a lot better low-end power. The D-power also with this new bridle system is very buttery and smooth. It's a little less of that kind of on-off like aggressive power that you get out of the RPM. It's more kind of like a more buttery feel. Water relaunch with this new bridle too has improved. Really, you know, I've never had a problem water relaunching the kite, but my wife, who's lighter than me, you know, when she'd ride, she loved the RPM, but if she was a little underpowered, she would have troubles relaunching it. So that light wind relaunch has improved significantly. So I've been riding this kite on a foil. It drifts well, still works really well. Yeah, it's got a little more power than I normally like on a foil kite, but it can transition in there. Same thing with waves. Like, it's a little more oomph than I'm used to for a kite I'm riding the waves. So the RPM has gone from a kind of dedicated, kind of true, you know, like freestyle, wake style type of kite to more versatile, like aggressive kiteboard. Hey, I'm gonna go have a kite that's gonna jump big. I want to ride waves. I want to foil on this kite, and the RPM hit that. And also the bigger sizes are gonna be better suited because they got more juice to them. They got some more grunt to them, but also that D power. You have the same D power as you had of the old RPM 12, but now you've got a lot more low end. So it's not just me saying it. We tested it with a bunch of our coaches and put them out there in lessons. We put them out there in the park. Like everyone loves the RPM for the park. And so there's a lot of our team, like men and women, were like, I don't know, I'm not sure. They wrote it, like, wow, this is like, I'm riding better than I was the day before on the other RPM. So they're stoked with the improvements. The sizing takes a little adjustment because you do have some more power to each kite size than you didn't have before. You get the same D power, but you got more power. And just that feel, that you have that RPM feel that's just kind of like, they kind of just polished it and smoothed out the edges. So it's like really easy to ride, but still has that good, like when you want to turn that kite in the power, it's a freaking giant wingtip, man. It turns in the power, that wingtip exposes, pow, you're gonna get tons of power. Finally, still using that slingshot construction. Everyone knows split strut. When they added this about 5-6 years ago, that made the canopy significantly more rigid. They've continued to alter the panel layouts. You can kind of see all these zigzag stitching, totally different than other people are having. It used to use a lot of Dacron on leading edge. They've taken it out so it's a lighter weight feel. Still have the Dacron on the wingtip and the leading edge to make that bomb-proof construction. The inflation system, Slingshot is the inventor of one pump. One pump is awesome. Everyone should praise Slingshot for making one pump. They've got their quick inflate system. dump valve as well, pretty typical with their setups. And then everything else is as you know it. You've got your safety loops down here so you can body drag home with your kite if you break a line or something like that. So coming back around, RPM, just an amazing all-around kite now. So I've always loved this kite, but it was like, I'm not gonna send it to an advanced beginner. Now an advanced beginner can get this. Hey, I wanna have like a good, versatile, multi-sport kite. RPM, absolutely take a look at this kite. For everyone that's loved RPMs in the past, try this thing out. It will blow your mind. Anyone that's tested it out is like, wow, has the kind of RPM lineage, but feels like a totally new badass kite. The thing is awesome. So if you want more information, you can check our reviews out at realwatersports.com, or you can give us a call to shop, 252-987-6000. See everybody on the water.